Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Bhagavad Gita class. Today is Sunday, 11th October 2015. We'll start with our prayers. I will request Deepthi today to chant the mantras.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshu Ulimtam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadamtikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadavaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधु भयवच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते जयपताका स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमः आचार्य पादाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकथा धामदाय नगर ग्राम तारिणे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
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 So we are in chapter 2, and today we are going to take two shlokas which are like combined even in Bhagavad Gita, 42 and 43. So second chapter, last week we had a very wonderful shlok, 41, where Krishna speaks about resoluteness, dhrada nishchaya, and how when you are not resolute, what happens, when you become many branched, bahushakha, then what happens? Today's two shlokas and the 44 also, Krishna talks about general people, people who are so-called Vedantists, those who really talk about that Vedas are the supreme and so on, and then but in the real life, what they do, That's what Krishna talks about. So we'll first chant the shlokas and then we'll go into the details. Yamimam pushpita vacham pravadantya avipashchitah.
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्ति अविपश्चितः
Vedavadarataha partha nanyat astiti vadinaha.
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यात् अस्तीति वादिनः
Yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadantya avipashchitah.
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्ति अविपश्चितः
Vedavadarata partha nanyad astiti vadinaha.
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यत् अस्तीति वादिनः
Kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam.
कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम्
Kriya vishesha bahulam bhogeshwarya gatim prati.
क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति
Kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam.
कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम्
Kriya vishesha bahulam bhogeshwarya gatim prati.
क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति
Rashmi Mataji.
याम इमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त अविपश्चितः
Yam imam
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं
pravadantya
अविपश्चितः
avipashchitah.
वादरता पार्थ नान्यद् अस्तीति वादिनः
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यत् अस्तीति वादिनः
Kartik Prabhu.
कामात्मान स्वर्गपरां जन्म कर्म फलप्रदाम्
कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा
Janma karma falapradam.
क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति
Kriya vishesha bahulam bhogeshwarya gatim prati. Soumya Mataji.
याम इमां पुष्पितां वाचं
यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं
Two lines.
प्रवदन्त्य अविपश्चितः
प्रवदन्ति अविपश्चितः
Pravadantya avipashchitah.
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यद् अस्तीति वादिनः
वेदवादरता पार्थ नान्यत् अस्तीति वादिनः
Premavardhini Mataji. 43.
कामात्माने स्वर्गपरा जन्म कर्म फलाफलाम क्रिया विशेष बहुलाम योगेश्वर गतिं प्रति
Kamatmana
कामात्मान स्वर्गपरा
karma falapradam.
फलप्रदाम् क्रिया विशेष बहुलां भोगैश्वर्य गतिं प्रति
Oh, sorry. Here only. Word by word meaning of both together. Yam imam.
यामिमां
All these.
all these
Pushpitam.
पुष्पितां
Flowery.
फ्लवरी
Vacham.
वाचं
Words. Pravadanti.
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 Say.
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 Avipaschitaha.
Avipaschitaha.
Men with a poor fund of knowledge.
Men with a poor fund of knowledge.
Knowledge.
Vedavadarata.
Vedvarata.
Supposed followers of the Vedas.
Supposed followers of the Vedas.
Partha.
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 O son of Pritha.
O son of Pritha.
Na.
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 Never.
Never.
Anyat.
Anyat.
Anything else.
Anything
Anything
else.
else.
Asti.
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 There is.
There is.
There is.
Iti.
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 Thus.
Thus.
Vadinaha.
Vadinaha.
The advocates.
The advocates.
Kama Atmanaha.
Kama Atmanaha.
Naha.
Desirous of sense gratification.
Desirous of self gratification.
Swarga Paraha.
Swarga Paraha.
Aiming to achieve heavenly planets.
Aiming to achieve heavenly planets.
Janma Karma Phala Pradam.
Janma Karma Phala Pradam.
Resulting in good birth and other fruitive reactions.
Resulting in good growth and other fruitive reactions.
Kriya Vishesha.
Kriya Vishesha.
Pompous ceremonies.
Pompous ceremonies.
Bahulam.
Bahulam.
Various.
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 Bhoga.
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 In sense enjoyment.
In sense enjoyment.
Aishwarya.
Aishwarya.
Ashwa.
And opulence.
And
And opulence.
Gatim.
Gatim.
Progress.
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 Prati.
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 Towards.
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 Translation. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. Men of small knowledge
Men of
Men
small
of small
knowledge.
knowledge
are very much attached
are very much attached
to the flowery words of the Vedas,
to the flowery words of the Vedas,
The words of the Vedas.
which recommend various fruitive activities
which recommend various fruitive activities
for elevation to heavenly planets,
for elevation to heavenly planets,
Heavenly planets.
resultant good birth,
resultant good birth,
power,
power,
and so forth.
and so
And
forth.
so
Being desirous of sense gratification
being desired
Sense gratification,
and opulent life,
an opulent
and
life,
opulence.
they say that
they say that
there is nothing more than this.
there is nothing more than this.
It's very wonderful Sloka, two of them. Lord Krishna is just making fun of these people, like if you really look at it, he's just making fun of this. Of course, here he's not calling them Muda. He called them Muda elsewhere, but here he says men of small knowledge, avipaschitaha, small intelligent, meaning people in general, that's what we see around us. Right now in Bhagavatam also, we are discussing the same topic. Lord Brahma is telling Krishna about the general people, how they are. And here, this is not only general people. This is actually more targeted at people who are followers of Vedas. They talk a lot about Vedas. They say that, this is Shruti, Upanishad and Vedas and all that. And you guys are only talking about Smritis, Bhagavad Purana and so on. So they look down upon devotees. Whereas Krishna is now looking down upon them. Because what happens in the process, they quote Vedas for everything. And in the Vedas, and the Atharva Veda especially, there is this Karma Kanda portion, where all the rituals are being told. And that's what people do, you just look around you. You'll just see them performing this puja, that puja, going to this temple, that temple, every day some puja or something like that. Puja for what? Puja for getting this, puja for getting that, puja for getting that, like. And then at the end, they think that by giving some charity, giving some donation to big temples, Tirupati, here, there, they are getting a lot of punya. And this punya will give them better birth, better everything, And ultimately, of course, Swarga. Even in Christianity, even in Islam, wherever you see, they project this Jannat, heaven, Swarga. They even don't know that there is something beyond Swarga also. Even in the heavenly planet, there are Tapaloka, Maharlokas, all that. They don't even know that, they just know Swarga. And of course, Swarga, the Acharyas, when we read their commentaries, we'll see that they are saying that Swarga means higher planets, heavenly planets. Because this Swarga we call is only next to Earth, so it's just not a very far off. There everything is 10 times better than here in terms of material comforts. But then you go to the next Loka, this becomes 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times like that. And you go to Brahma Loka, it's like 100,000 times. I think it's 10,000 times. So they live for 100,000 years, thing like that, which is a long period. But then Krishna says that for these people, that is their ultimate goal. If at all they talk of some thing, they will say, okay, Nirvana, Moksha. Nirvana means if you tell them you will lose everything, they don't like that. It's better to go to Swarga. Do some puja here and enjoy it there. So in that process, you do some this vrata, that vrata. And then even during the vrata, you eat as much as you want, except, don't eat food. Don't eat grains. That's it. So very interesting. And now we'll see some wonderful, wonderful commentaries by different acharyas. So we'll start reading them one by one, and I'll request Karthik Prabhu to read this first.
So this verse speaks of the persons with wavering intelligence involved in sakama karma, who are very dull-witted. So they speak excellently 16 pleasant words of the Vedas, which are like a poisonous flowering plant. So they speak in this way because they are fools, because they interpret the words of the Vedas such as the following. Akshayam havai chaturmasya yajinaha sukritam bhavati. One who has worshipped by means of the words of chaturmasya attains pious credits which never become depleted. Apastamba Shrauta Sutra Krishna Yajurveda. Apama Somam Amrita Abhuma. So we drank Soma and became immortal. So they say that there is no God other than this.
They refer to Vedas, this Acharya says that they are generally referring to these two. Of course, in the Puranas, we have a lot of vratas, you do this puja and that puja and so on and so forth, everybody telling about everything. But here, this is both the things. For example, we drank Soma and became immortal. So by drinking something, you become immortal. Yes, it is possible. But then you have to drink the Harinam. You really want to become immortal for good. Because these people, when they say immortal, they go to the higher planets, and when they have finished their pious quota, they have to come down. And then, of course, we also say that, but there is a little difference. When we talk about a vrata, we talk about some austerity, no doubt, but the benefits we talk of are all spiritual, because we say that, okay, you stop your material activities, but you engage in spiritual activities on that day or that month. More chanting, more reading, more austerities, Not that, okay, you do this and then you get this benefit, that benefit, like those are also already available. They're all byproducts. You don't have to separately ask for them, because a devotee automatically gets everything. All his requirements are fulfilled by Krishna. Krishna says that, right? Here also in Bhagavad Gita we'll see Krishna's those shlokas where he says that I will maintain what you have and provide you what you lack. Yoga kshemam vahameham. So these people who are just stuck in that, the problem is, it's not bad. We are not saying that doing some puja or something is bad, but what are you doing it for? That is important. Like, I remember when we still go to Tirupati, but especially when I was in Bangalore, we used to go almost, the drop of a hat. Sometimes in the morning, 4 o'clock, we get up and I will just ask my wife, shall we go to Tirupati? Our children were small, she is always ready. She said, okay. And within 15 minutes, they're all packed. Put the children in the back of the car, they're still sleeping, and just drive, So, I never used to go to that hundi business, like, I'll just take darshan. That was my goal always. Even today, that is my goal. Like, just take darshan, be happy, have the darshan of lotus feet of the Lord. Sometimes the pujari will give you some tulsi from the, I can say I'm very, very fortunate in that respect. I always get something special. When I go there, they put me aside and allow me to take as much darshan. And then sometimes they'll go to the lotus feet and take some tulsi from there or some chandan or something, Anyway, so once I asked my spiritual master, Guru Maharaj, I said, Guru Maharaj, going to Tirupati, I don't ask anything anytime. Is that the right thing to do? And he gave me a shock. He says, no, this time you ask. And I said, what is happening now? Has ISKCON changed the philosophy or something? Like I was still new in Krishna consciousness. I had my industry and all that, that he knew it, of course. So he said, not for yourself. And I asked him, what should I ask for? He should ask for Lakshmi. I said, oh my God, this is becoming tricky now. So I very humbly asked Guru Maharaj, Lakshmi? He says, yes. I said, are we not supposed to not ask for such things? And he says, yes, it is. If it is for your sense gratification, no. But then I am asking you to ask Lakshmi so that you can donate to temple. You can print more books, We are building this nice temple here. So your Lakshmi should be used for Krishna service. For that, there is no problem. You can ask the Lord as much as you want. So this is the difference, And here, these flowery words, Krishna is actually warning Arjuna that these are all very flowery words. Veda vada rataha. And then sometimes some flowers are, poisonous. Some beautiful looking creepers are poisonous, Like here we have ivy, poison ivy they call it. You touch it, you have problem, big problem. The same way, this material world is described as that. So very nice analysis. Soumya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Just a second.
No problem.
What type of words do they speak? They speak words about various rites, giving many results in terms of power and enjoyment. Words which give good results of action in terms of birth.
So same Karma Kanda portion is the 43rd Sloka number 43. All the big politicians, all the big business people, they conduct these big yagya, pujas, tantrics come and so on and so forth. They're just busy doing that. When they first try on their own, and when the results don't come, then they go to these tantrics and Babaji and this and that. And then they also don't give any results sometimes. Sometimes you get material results. So the thing is, you are never satisfied because all you are asking is something temporary and useless in the long run. Now it may be required. It doesn't mean that if Lakshmi is coming to you, you should reject it. No. I just give the example. Accept it, use it for Krishna. So let's see some more commentaries on this. Rashmi Mataji.
People in general are not very intelligent, and due to their ignorance, they are most attached to the fruitive activities recommended in the Karma Kanda portions of the Vedas. They do not want anything more than sense gratificatory proposals for enjoying life in heaven, where wine and women are available and material opulence is very common.
I just told about this. The concept of Swarga is that the liquor is flowing like a river. No girl is more than 16-year-old and no man is more than 18 years old. And there's no shortage of anything. Things, that you live long and you have a Dunlop pillow 10 times more soft than what you have here, the best Dunlop pillow. And so on, like that. And that's what people think are that's what is needed, You can see that all these resorts and how they advertise. What is the difference between one and the two? The one fellow will say, you got only 6-inch of mattress. We provide 14-inch of mattress. It's a pillow top here, they say, or something else, that. And then your AC has a remote control which you can use even you are in the bathroom, something like that. And the people get, oh my God, that's what. Let me choose that. Depending on, what you have. Now, even you don't need the money because flash your credit card and you can get done. Luxurious car and villas and this and that. There's no end, right? So instead of, and then you get used to it here and you want it better now. So then somebody comes and tells you, sir, if you perform this, then you'll get even better than this. So you go after that. Nobody talks about how do we ensure that next life we don't even come back here. Because this is all a risk. Everything is a risk here. You may get, you may not get. There's no guarantee. Karthik Prabhu.
In the Vedas, many sacrifices are recommended for elevation to the heavenly planets, especially the Jyotistoma sacrifices. In fact, it is stated that anyone desiring elevation to heavenly planets must perform these sacrifices, and men with a poor fund of knowledge think that this is the whole purpose of Vedic wisdom. It is very difficult for such inexperienced persons to be situated in the determined action of Krishna consciousness. So as fools are attached to the flowers of poisonous trees without knowing the results of such attractions, unenlightened men are similarly attracted by such heavenly opulence and the sense enjoyment thereof.
Confirmation of the same thing, except here, we get one specific yagya called Jyotistoma. Jyotistoma, we don't even hear of that anymore, right? But they will give some different name and try to extract money out of you, Sir, you have this dosha in your chart, so you do this and you do that and that. There is no end. I'm always reminded of how people behave, how they are not aware of the trap. So there's a nice story about, one bee, which can be any one of us. She goes, and then looking for a flower with honey. And she finds one flower with honey, and so that honey is so tasty that she keeps drinking. And then, it's almost like evening. Generally, she knows that all the bees know that, when to get out of the flower, because the flowers will start closing in the night. Daytime, they are blooming. But she is now so busy enjoying that. Oh, one more sip, one more suck. And then the evening happens, So the flower gets closed, so she's trapped inside now. In the night time, a bunch of group of elephants, they are going in the same forest, And then one baby elephant, she's in a very playful mood, picking things from here, there, And somehow she comes near this shrub where this flower is there, And she looks at this, she gets attracted to this somehow. So just plucks, as the habit, just plucks with her trunk and smashes on the floor, So finish. What happened to the bee? With that smash of the elephant. Or sometime, this mosquito is sitting and you can see it sucking and they just tap. 1 second before, if it had flown out, finished, So the idea is that sometimes it is all right, when you are in a family life, especially, to indulge in something for a while. But you should know when to get out of it. That's the most important. Timing is the most important. First of all, we should not, because why I'm saying that, because we are not at a pure level now. So, okay, somebody calls you for a party or something, you should know how much to let yourself go. You should know when to get out. You should know when is the time. You have to call it a stop. And that's what we come to know through Bhagavad Gita and, Bhagavatam and so on. Soumya Mataji.
Such persons have no faith in liberation from material bondage, and they are very much attached to the pompous ceremonies of Vedic sacrifices. They are generally sensual, and they do not want anything other than the heavenly pleasures of life. It is understood that there are gardens called Nandakanan, in which there is good opportunity for association with angelic, beautiful women and having a profuse supply of Somrasa wine.
This is from Prabhupada, he says, there's a description, Nandana Kanana, forest, garden. Everything is so nice, attractive, Oh, you sleep on a bench and somebody's fanning you and something like, so they just, people get the richer you become, the more fallen you become, that's how it is. That's the ratio. That's why you see also in devotion, how many super rich people are involved. And they will sometimes do some Sloka vaste thing, Some, as I said, big. That also they have to do big. Like somebody said, oh, we are going to perform 108 kunda havan. 108 kunda, what for? No, because my competitor, he put some 100, so I decided I should make it 108. And then I will invite 25,000 people. They will sitting 108 multiplied by 4. That many couples will be sitting and doing it simultaneously. And there will be CCTV, big screen, everybody will watch what's going on. So this is called indulgence. Rashmi Mataji.
They say that there is nothing else, owing to their intense attachment to these results. They say that there is no fruit superior to heaven, etc. They are full of worldly desires and their minds are highly attached to secular desires. They hanker for heaven, that is, think of the enjoyment of the facilities of heaven, after which one can have rebirth, which offers again the opportunity to perform varied rites, divide in true knowledge, and leads towards the attainment of enjoyment and power once again.
So they love this cycle of birth and death because they know that, oh, I've done so much punya, I built one hospital, I built one something, like that. I'm giving to Ekala Vidyalaya, and like there are some people have so many things going on. There are some few tens of thousands of charities in every country. And then they think that, okay, what will happen is again, because of this, I'm assured that I will get a better birth, more money, more enjoyment. Like as I said, there is some guy in India, recently I was reading that he has something like tens of luxury cars, the most expensive cars in the world. More than, I think it's in hundreds. And all you need is one car to go from one place to other place, Maybe one car for your wife, maybe one more car for your son, but then you require hundreds of them. Don't even remember where, but is, reminds me, my grandfather used to tell a joke that one rich person like this, he suddenly lost in business and became bankrupt. And then after a few days, some friends go to meet him and they see that this man is very happy. He's looking very happy. So they ask him, they just go to sympathize him, but they see now how to say something in sympathy because this fellow looking so cheerful. So very, out of curiosity and not knowing how to ask that, one person says, so Mr. Bhagwan Das, how do you feel now? He says, I feel damn good. I'm really happy. So they are surprised. They think that somebody think that, okay, he's become a sannyasi or sadhu or devotee, given up everything. So what makes you happy? He says, you know what? Now I know in which coat my car keys are there, Because I got only one car left and I got one coat left. So I know exactly. Otherwise, he says, I was spending sometime half an hour just to searching for the keys of the car, There are so many dresses where the keys. So his happiness is, again, still not become detached. He still wants to have his happiness in these small little material things. Karthik Prabhu.
So, with regard to those who cling to pressure and power and whose understanding is contaminated by that flowery speech relating to pleasure and lordly powers, the aforesaid mental disposition characterized by resolution will not arise in their samadhi. Samadhi here means the mind. The knowledge of the self will not arise in such minds. In the minds of these persons, there cannot arise their mental disposition that looks on all Vedic rituals as means for liberation based on the determined conviction about the real form of the self.
So the Vedas are actually supposed to elevate us from a material consciousness to a spiritual consciousness. That is the real purpose of Vedas. Vedas are not for making your life better materially. So what happens? These people, although talking of Vedas, they miss the whole point. And they are just, resting that whole thing on their material good being. There is no chance of their, like here the Acharya says, there is no chance of their getting samadhi. Of course, when they die, there will be a samadhi because some relative son or somebody will think, oh, my father was so great, his empire, he owned this empire. So they'll make a memorial for him. They may call him samadhi also because he was wearing some kantimala and, some tilak, etc. Not in the real life, but at least at the time of death. So, the real purpose, again I am repeating, the real purpose of Vedas is to elevate one from the material platform to the spiritual platform. That's the real purport, real meaning. That's the real Vedanta, as we say. Okay. Soumya Mataji.
Why do they talk such nonsense? Because they are of dull wits and limited understanding. The reason for their dull wits is that they are enamored by the flowery promises of the scriptures. Words like everlasting happiness, eternal life, resurrection, and immortality are very appealing to those of limited understanding.
So it's a direct attack. Direct attack. Just he's saying they're talking nonsense. So this is sadhu. Sadhu is never ever going to speak something to please you. He'll always speak the truth, which can shake you out of your complacency. So here, again, because they would have read that, oh, this will give you everlasting happiness because, you will keep on going from one heavenly planet to other heavenly planets and so on and so forth. You'll have a wonderful life and you'll have a wonderful wife and you'll have wonderful children and so on. You'll be known in the society. So everything is for fame, at least. If not for material gain, it is. Even sometimes the big sacrifice is for getting a big name and fame. Prana pratishtha, as they say, Okay, Rashmi Mataji.
Why is that the scholars who have studied the Vedas so fastidiously fail to possess the resolute intelligence? It is because they could not comprehend the essence of the Vedic scriptures and subsequently they missed understanding the true purport of the Vedas. This Lord Krishna emphasizes with the word avipashitaha, meaning the ignorant who are not knowledgeable are attracted to flowery descriptions in the Vedas, even as a beautiful flowery creeper may be attractive, although it is poisonous.
Again, this is some things are being repeated because the purport is same. That's why different acharyas are again coming to that point. But here the point is about the so-called transcendentalists, so-called Vedantists. They just boast of their big Veda knowledge, but they have not got the purport of that. What is the purport? What is the essence? In 15th chapter, Krishna makes it very, very clear. He says the whole purpose of Vedas is to know Him. Remember, we are doing in Purushottam Mass every day we are reading. He says the whole purport, whole reason, whole very, very idea of studying Vedas is to know who is this absolute truth, Lord Krishna. So that point they miss. They just keep him aside and they try to keep on doing their jugglery, big jugglery. Then there are systems and it says Shadadarshana, Bhashya, there are so many things. But if the purpose is to deny existence of Krishna or to, decide not to surrender, then we have missed the whole thing. We just missed the whole thing. So we should consider ourselves fortunate that we are at least know the reason for our performing devotional service. It's to just please Krishna, right? Why are we doing it? To please Krishna. Finish. That's one simple sentence. No complication in that. No, it's for this or that. Let's not make a jalebi out of it. Just stick to the basics, and we'll never go wrong. Okay. That's the last one. Karthik Prabhu again.
So all their activities in this life are enacted solely for the sake of acquiring benefits in order to reside in the heavenly spheres where they can enjoy for a seemingly unlimited time span. But when their merit has expired after enjoying the delights of heaven in various wonderful ways to their heart's content, they will again take birth on earth in a rich and learned family who also are following the flowery phrases of the Vedas, and they will again follow this path and at life's end transmigrate to the heavenly planets once again to enact the process.
So as I already explained, this is just a process of again, trying to become better and better, and then again, come. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that 9th chapter it will come. That when your pious account is over, then you have to come back, finish again. Of course, because they have done something, then they get a better in the sense, materially better lifestyle, born in some aristocratic family or something like that, where they want to, because their intention is to again go back. Very few get disillusioned with that and then they come to the devotional service. Like the 4 Kumaras, like Uddhava, like so many, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati, all these great personalities. They're all Maitreya Rishi. They're all like this at one time. But then they somehow got the mercy of Krishna, sometimes the mercy of Guru, sometimes the mercy of a Vaishnava. Okay. So, as I said, we should consider ourselves fortunate that we are not in this trap. At least hopefully, that we at least know about the trap. This is a trap. This is the trap. They say that this Mayavad is the last trap to keep us away from Krishna. So I'd like to stop here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, comments, you can take it up. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I had this question, like people who desires, for a better birth and like life cycles, they get maybe get good birth. But what about results, end results, Prabhuji, for them? It is like in the last.
That you are still here, so you are not getting the opportunity of association of Krishna, and you are not getting an opportunity of serving Krishna, which is the highest bliss, and you are not getting the opportunity to go back to Krishna Loka, that is our original home. So you miss all those things, all the wonderful things you are missing, and you are just simply, it's like, this ice cream. In the ice cream, when we were children, I'm from Akola, Maharashtra, So we used to have this hand machine. We used to make ice cream in that. And then you make one pot, one pot of mango and then one pot of sitafal. And like that we make. And then you put it in a steel bowl and with the hand you eat. And you'll just simply, at the end you just lick it. And till the next thing comes, because this is mango now. I'm not going to go and wash the pot or something. I'll just make it clean so that the next time sitafal comes, Now, and that was a real thing for us, if I remember now. Then we come to Bombay, and you have these scones, right? And in the ice cream, they'll put one wafer or something. Now, if you just taste the wafer and decide about the ice cream, and then you think that, oh, that's really good. Wafer is very tasty, it is a little sugary, little crispy, and so on. But you're not tasted the ice cream.
Yeah.
The same way, these people are just having that wafer, The real ice cream is in the bhakti, That's where the real taste is there. The real bliss is there. So
it's
that's
like,
what happens to us. That's what happens. We miss that particular thing. You ask, for example, you have been telling, you have experienced. How many people come for the programs, and suppose you have something like that, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita in the sense where there is no joke, there is no orchestra, there is only pure philosophy. How many people will come?
hardly few, probably.
Right?
Hardly few.
Because people want masala. They are so much used to it,
Yes, Prabhuji.
They want masala. They just want masala and, spicy and hot and majedar, some makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you this and that, everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Prabhuji, but
Prabhuji,
have this intelligence, like in the earth itself is a representation of heaven and hell, like.
It's not. It's not.
Like,
No.
in the sense, not.
Heaven is also represented. See, the real thing is Goloka Vrindavan and the
Yes.
Vaikuntha planets.
Yeah.
This is a perverted image of that. It's called perverted reflection. Like the tree is there on the bank of a tank, let's say lake. And you see the reflection of that. And then by looking at the reflection, you decide that that is a tree. That's what it is. This is called as a perverted reflection, because you put a little stone in that water. The tree starts dancing, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Actual tree is dancing or what?
No.
Actual tree is not dancing, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. No.
It's only the reflection which is dancing.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is what happens. Actually, we are supposed to be having that bliss in the reality, but because we are taking the reflection as the real thing, and it gets disturbed every now and then by something or the other. So we feel, oh my God, what is this happening? Why it is happening? All that.
Yeah, but like Prabhuji, there is so much poverty and so much sadness around certain part of the country, world.
Yes. Yes.
And some countries are very flourished, very rich.
So same people, as I'm saying, the same people who talk of all the things, what are they doing? At least the devotees are not so rich, but still, anywhere you go, they are having food for life. They are having, free meals and this and that. Anybody comes to the temple, we don't send anybody without feeding. In Mayapur, every second, third year, there is a flood, big flood, and around 7-8 miles radius, devotees go and just distribute. So the point is, of course, the richness and all that is, unfortunately, that's a part of the karma. But when we talk like that, people say, oh, you don't want to do anything, but you talk of karma. But that's a real thing. That's why in our Bhaktivedanta hospital in Bombay, for example, when somebody comes, we treat that person materially, but we also treat him spiritually. We just feed him prasadam every day. Devotees go and talk to him and explain that how and why you are suffering like this. So would you like to stop the suffering forever, or you would like to just put some patch, some band-aid or this or that? That's okay, that's required. But ultimately, the real thing is to give something which will last forever and which will make you happiest.
And Prabhuji, like as you said, the satsang, these people, how can we we cannot force anyone, right, Prabhuji? Like at one certain level, you can ask them why, give a lot of promises.
See, this is the thing. We should not stop because they are not accepting. There are so many souls waiting to accept it. Okay, so we should try to keep doing it, and those who get benefited will always bless you. Those who are not interested, that's okay for them, you know. Krishna himself is saying that if you are not interested, then I'll leave you alone. Simple. I think I don't know whether you heard that story I told you about a person throwing something back into the sea. Did you hear that?
I don't remember.
Yes or no?
No, Prabhuji, I don't remember.
Okay, let me tell you that because that will make you little comfortable. One man was walking on the beach, and from a distance he saw that one man at a far distance, he was bending, looked like he's picking something and just throwing in the sea. So this man becomes curious. He goes nearer. I mean, this is a long story. I'm just cutting it short. It goes nearer and nearer, and then finally finds out, yeah, he's really picking something from the sand and throwing it. So he goes to that man and asks him, sir, excuse me, I'm disturbing you, but can you please tell me what you are doing? He says, oh no, this when the high tide comes, a lot of things come on the shore, but when the tide goes back, not everybody goes back. So these are some jellyfishes, small jellyfishes. So I'm just throwing them back so that they can live, because here they will die. So this man appreciate that, but then says, sir, there are hundreds and thousands of jellyfishes on the beach. How your throwing few will help? How the throwing will matter? Saving some will matter. So this person bends down again, picks up one jellyfish, and he says, to this one it matters, and throws it.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So this should be our motivation. If you touch one person in your life, you make one person interested in devotional service. That means you have achieved something great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, what's the harm in having an orchestra at a satsang if it is only the bhajans that are being sung?
Anything, see, the devotional service has so many branches. We already discussed that, right? So somehow the other, keeping ourselves engaged, by hearing, by chanting, by dancing, by eating, by whatever, So satsang, where only kirtan is happening, is one way. It's a shravanam. Kirtanam, shravanam, both are happening because you are somebody singing. That's why we say sankirtan. So everybody is singing. One person, other people. So sankirtan, kirtan becomes sankirtan. And that is a better way. Then, because what happens in kirtan, sometimes people sleep. Somebody is singing, and if he is not a good singer or something, and then everybody starts sleep. But in sankirtan, everybody is engaged. In satsang, again, you can read the book at home, but when you are doing in a satsang, sadhu sangha, then it makes a lot of difference.
So that's what I'm saying, Prabhuji. There is no harm in having an orchestra.
Orchestra?
Prabhuji,
orchestra, see, orchestra is for what? That's what my question is not, I'm not against the orchestra. But people get so much engrossed in that orchestra that they miss the real thing. That's the point, And then they imitate some filmy songs and, try to make some...
No, parody. Even I don't believe in parodies.
No, not even parody. Even bhajans, for example. The idea is that the bhajan should remind us of Krishna. Should remind us of the Krishna Leela, It should not remind us of that person's playing ability, which is, playing the drum so nicely or this or that or so on. So it's a distraction because sometimes if it is done properly, yes, it is welcome. But I'm saying because I've seen it, I've seen so many of them. They just distract you.
So yeah, I think it differs from person to person. A person who is interested in
that's why we say that please do not go to these professionals. You go to a simple devotee, learn from him, no problem. He may not be having anything, but if he's a good devotee of Krishna, he can give you much more than all these big shows. That's what we are saying.
Yes, one more thing, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, when I read Bhagavatam, I read that King Yayati, when his 1,000 years are over, he abandons his kingdom and he goes to the forest and does austerities and all. Then he attains his goal. But Prabhuji, when I read Mahabharata, what I saw that yes, King Yayati, he went away from his kingdom and he performed austerities and finally achieved his goal. But what was the goal? That he attained heaven and he could even travel and stay at Satyalok.
Yeah.
And when he boasted, Indra, he cursed him and he was again falling from the heaven. So Prabhuji, did he not have the sense that he should go for God himself, not for any kind of lokas?
That's what happens, People get carried away, You have the sense. Krishna has given sense to everybody, but how you use the sense is the important thing. That's a lesson for us. That you, even at that level, you can commit a mistake. Like this. Yeah. So what's the point?
Like what? I'm saying, Prabhuji, that King Yayati, he must have been born in Treta or Satyug even. And at that time, I think there were more people who were religious, and more number of people must be having interest in going back to Godhead instead of going to any sloka.
Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and they are big followers. They were Ravana and Kumbhakarna and their followers. So this is there. This is every yuga. There are different. The thing changes a little here and there. But ultimately, the envious people will keep on doing that. Envious souls. They will. Some becomes a big one. Some becomes a small one. That's the only difference. So
Prabhuji, that King Yayati also didn't realize that salvation was the
naturally. So again, then we have to analyze the reasons for that. We cannot sit on judgment because we don't know at least I don't know the real circumstances. What made him that. We'll find that circumstances are either the association or the desire of doing something great,
Yes, Prabhuji. Motivation.
Yes.
And Prabhuji, similarly, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha Lok, Jai Vijay, they were cursed by That's why
that's a leela. That's a leela enacted by Krishna, so that we can have all these three different great personalities and great wars, and these are leelas. They're all nimittas because they're all great, nice devotees. But like one small instance of Parikshit Maharaj keeping that dead snake created the whole scenario, right?
The reason for this.
Yeah. So these are all God's plans because He is the super intelligent. He knows what people like, how people can be converted, how people can be made to understand different things.
So Prabhuji, that means Jai Vijay, when they were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, as Ravan and I think Kumbhakarna, and as Shishupal and Dantavakra, I think.
Yeah.
So they were aware of
no, this is a Yoga Maya, Yoga Maya play, because Yoga Maya makes you forget sometime.
So Prabhuji, it was not after salvation that they went to Golok or Vaikuntha Lok.
They went back. They went back. That's the difference. They go back because.
So Prabhuji, why did they have to fall down and descend towards when they were devotees of Lord Krishna?
I know,
and they were already.
Again, they did that devotee job. I told you they are devotees. They do whatever is required by Krishna. So devotee doesn't say that I should be always treated good. No. Devotee says, Krishna, you know better. So they also did not protest. They did not. Did they say, hey Krishna, we are serving you so long. Why did you allow this and that? And you imagine their good fortune that when this instance happened, Lord Vishnu personally comes because he personally comes. How many gatekeepers will have this opportunity that the boss comes personally to find out what's going on with them? They will say, okay, remove the gatekeepers, useless people, get somebody else. But here the Lord comes himself and he pleads and he says, okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
But, okay, Prabhuji, I'll ask.
Yeah,
I still have that.
we'll have more opportunities. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you heading to India on 13th?
No. We may be heading, but I canceled that particular ticket and we're still planning. We have some developments here, so
Okay.
let me see. I'll keep you posted when I do something.
And
Prabhuji,
Prabhuji,
there was no class yesterday.
There was no class yesterday because again, something. I have
Okay,
my
Prabhuji.
personal life also. Sometime, something.
No, Prabhuji, I just wanted to confirm.
I know it was not there. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.